Is looking slightly not good again. So this will help us understand what's going to happen in the immediate short term for crypto too.
We have a lot to dig into here with our markets guys. We want to bring in Jack Ablin. He's Crescent Capital's Chief Investment Officer. Jack, we're looking at the worst day that we have seen for the Dow since 2020. S&P off nearly 5%. Huge losses here for the NASDAQ as well. S&P off just around 4%.
And you guys know crypto closely resembles and follows the S&P. So the S&P got hammered today. So did the NASDAQ. Dow didn't fare much better. So it's interesting. It's interesting if we go through some more of this. So and we start to fall farther down. So let's hear what they're saying.
What do you make of today's selling action?
Yeah, I think what investors realized was these seemingly safe havens.
And guys, the worst sell-off since 2020 in the market. So a lot of these safe haven stocks like this guy's about to talk about, these safe stocks like I was talking about before, it's not going to work. You have to go into something that the PE, the price over earnings, is smaller than like 4 or 5. You can't be stuck in like Apple and all these other shit show ones like Amazon, Microsoft. They're all going to get you nailed.
In stocks, the staples like Target and Walmart are not immune. That their costs are rising. They cannot pass their higher costs onto their consumers. And as Walmart said yesterday, their customers are coming in and buying groceries, but they're not buying hard goods. They're not buying other products where they have a slightly higher margin. So if you look at the consumer and recognize, yes, wages are up, but they're not going up at the same rate as inflation, and the highest cost increases are food and energy, that's funneling away spending that ordinarily would be spent at the more profitable side of Walmart and at Target. And I think that investors are looking at these stocks and thought that they were safe havens, and now we're seeing perhaps they weren't.
We'll circle back here, Jack, but let me ask you a difficult question. Is there any good news today?
Well, I think that if you look through the fact, in fact, when I heard about the Target news this morning, I said, you know what, the U.S. consumer is doing the Fed's work for it. We have high inflation, right? We have demand outstripping supply. So what we really need is lower demand to keep these prices and trend these prices lower. Sure, we have the Fed raising interest rates, but I believe that, with the slowing growth that we're seeing as a result of this, combined with the slightly higher rates that we will see from the Fed, inflation likely peaked in the first quarter, and demand will likely diminish as we move through the rest of the year.
So, Jack, is it safe to say then, do you think we're headed for a recession? I guess when you take a look at the odds of that compared to what the Fed could potentially do if it's not as aggressive as maybe we initially thought it was, what does that all spell out for the possibilities of a recession?
Sure. So, the data I'm watching, and I'm not an economist, so I'm looking at Fed data, and I think their likelihood of recession is now moved up to about.
Guys, and pay attention to this part right here, especially when we get into the futures. This is not good news. And when we get into the charts now after this, especially when we look at XRP, we're holding around the 40-cent area on XRP. On Bitcoin, we're at a very dangerous level. On most of these ISO coins, we're on the brink of disaster. We've already broke down better than 70% on most ISO coins. And it's not going to get any easier from here.
30%. And really, to me, looking for fair value in the equity market, particularly the S&P 500, it's all about the 10-year Treasury yield. And that 10-year Treasury yield got up to slightly over 3%. 320 was the previous high in 2019. Big resistance there. But our models suggest that maybe fair value for the 10-year isn't 3%. It's actually closer to 2.5, probably 2.6. Well, if we use 2.6 as the discount mechanism for the S&P 500, we're pretty close to fair value.
How much is energy inflation driving all of this, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I think energy is one of the critical pieces that's driving this. People have to continue to, drive, get to work, and go places, and I think that's demand that isn't going to go away. What happens is high energy prices typically act as a tax. So if you do look at all of probably 4 or 5 of our previous recessions, they were all preceded by high energy prices. So that is a concern.
Jack, when you're taking a look at today's action and really what we've seen over the last several days, some of those historically defensive plays, especially in the consumer staples, have been taking a hit. So if investors want to be defensive in this market, what should they be favoring?
Sure. Well, I think, last time I looked, I think dividend stocks are still holding up pretty well. Our strategy for 2020 is quality dividend. So what we're not just focused on the highest dividend payers, we want high quality companies, strong balance sheets that have the ability to maintain and grow dividends. I think that's going to be the play for this year. And, with interest rates going up, investors have to pay a closer attention to the organic, right? Earnings and dividends. That's it. We can't rely on valuation expansion anymore. In fact, we're getting a lot of compression in tech stocks. So, those kinds of companies, and it is financials, it's energy, it's industrials, it's just the down and dirty stocks that, grow their earnings and pay a decent dividend. That's probably where we should be for the next couple of years.
Jerome Powell talked to the Wall Street Journal a lot yesterday about a softish landing, about saying the economy is strong. Did any of his comments carry over into this broad-based sell-off?
No, it sure didn't. I mean, it sounds like that investors pretty much shrugged whatever he said off. I mean, I think it's, sort of Pangloss thinking to suggest that you can ratchet up interest rates to, 6% in the front end and expect that the curve won't invert and investors won't anticipate a recession. But if you think about the combined impact of, wages among lower income households getting diverted to food and energy, plus now the wealth effect of, higher earning households who are watching their stock, portfolios shrink, that I think will ultimately weigh on demand and growth. Whether it's enough to throw us in a recession, it's hard to know because we've got a very strong labor market. We, aside from Q1 growth, we did run into 2022 with a running head start. So I think that, if it's either flat growth or slight recession, we'll probably be okay. And companies are still very profitable.
Okay, so you guys get the idea. So it was a rough day in the stock market. As we can see, we're down 1,164 in the Dow Jones, and that's what that's what I focus on my list. Mainly everything follows this Dow Jones in the grand scheme. We got the S&P that we relate closely to crypto. So tomorrow it's this simple. When the stock market opens, if you see it break 31,401, and then if we ultimately, within the first, 90 minutes of trading, if we break that 31,228, it's going to be it's going to be a nice drop here in the market. It's going to be a nice drop. It's been trying to break this area, and if it does, it's going to propel it down, and it's going to make it very iffy if it can hold 30,000. Once the Dow Jones breaks 30,000, you've got a long, long trend, and we're going to do our crypto, but we have to pay attention to all markets. So you can come out like this. You absolutely could if you want to. And say, hey, I was waiting, and that's my second point. And there's nothing you can do. Fine. So once we break that rising channel, if you want to call it that, we'll come back over here. And then we have a rising channel. So once you break the rising channel, now you're going to come down as far as you started. So at best, you would look to hold 18,205. Does anybody want to be in the Dow Jones when that shit happens? I don't think so. That's a 43% drop. So if this rising channel breaks at any time, you come back down to the bottom of the channel. Now, if it were to bust up, this would be one hell of an epic push by the Fed or whatever, and you would end up way the hell up there, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We're about to collapse. Once we break this rising channel, it's over. It's literally over. And the implications in crypto, and if your TA guy just comes on here and he just talks some nonsense and he has these little flashing numbers, because I see a lot of people on Twitch, guys. I don't have to attack YouTube anymore because I'm on Twitch. So now that, I'm on YouTube as well with 10,400 followers, but when I see everybody on Twitch All they have is a bunch of numbers flash, and you don't have anybody actually doing live TA. They're just showing you shit that's going up and down. I don't understand what the point is. If anybody here just watches people on crypto, like, what the hell is the point on Twitch? Unless they're doing TA. Like, I don't see anybody really doing actual TA on here. They're all just... You can go to any of them. They all just have numbers flashing. Like, I want to know what the fuck's going on. I don't give a shit about your numbers flashing. Whenever I go to and this isn't to insult anybody who might do this, but whenever I go to somebody's live or whatever, even on YouTube when I do this, and it's just a bunch of numbers flashing, but there's no actual TA, what am I getting out of it? There's no value. I'm trying to learn. So, I mean, that's what we're looking at here, a falling channel as well. But that's just created out of breaking through here. So, you know, that what we're looking at with the Dow. That's what we're looking at with Dow. And it's not looking good. So, here, let me say hi to everybody real quick. Kib, welcome in. Sean Crothers, my main man from Maine. Super Fat Monk, welcome. T-Long, Arizona Marine, Inglewood, About J-Ride, Storm Petrol, Seahawk. We have Salamander, Blue Green, what's going on? Wigbuster sharing the Tom's Army, and so is Nathan. I love it. Gummy and Nathan, what's going on? Wigbuster, what's going on? I did see your message to me on Twitch, Twitter a little while ago, Wig. It's just been it's been a busy day for me with the passing of my uncle and stuff and whatnot. So, but we'll get to talking one day. I want to hear what you have to say, and it's not that I was trying to ignore you, but it's just been one of those days. Sakul, Token Jesus, CW5000, Jurgen, JMF Tracy, Cheppa, Jam, Water Alien, Monster Ali, Pizza Brat. I think that's everybody. Welcome in, everybody, and Wigbusta. Thanks for the follow and the subscription with Prime. That is very generous of you. And also at 7:05, we had Salamander follow. And at 9:08 a.m., we had Sakul followed. Sakul. At 4:05 a.m., we had Sakal. At 9:43 p.m., we had Shafty 77. So, real quick, because I just want to know how many followers we have so I can give proper credit. I know we went over 300 on here. And make sure if you're new to my channel, just if you're new, one of the 52 watching, hit my YouTube partner page if you're not part of it yet. And follow the other 10,400 plus people on my YouTube. And then I want to thank, all right, so number 309. Number 309. RP Ryan, I missed you. How did I miss you? I didn't see your name up here. Oh, I missed you because you just said hi. I see. What's going on, Ryan? Welcome in. So I want to thank Wigbuster for being follower 209 or 309, Salamander 308, Mass Spaghetti 307, Sakul 306, Sakel 305. And Shafty 304. So I appreciate all 309 of my followers here on Twitch. You guys mean the world to me. So let's get back into the charts because we got a lot to talk about. We really do. A lot to talk about. No problem, Ryan. It's a pleasure to have you in here. So let me pull this up. So we're going to start with XRP now that we got through the Dow Jones because we have to make sure that we are staying in tune with what the markets are doing. So with XRP, we still are yet to break this ascending triangle, but what we have started to do over the last 2 days now, and we have a nice bearish engulfing candle, like I talked about earlier in the day with the smaller time frames. If I didn't know any better, you'd say we're coming down, and we have. So we've already broke the 40329, which shows this bearish engulfing candle is strong. We're only 17 minutes into the next day, and we've already proved this is a bearish engulfing candle. Now it's one of those things. How far down we go is the question. We've already broke this short-term ascending triangle, which means this bearish, remember what I said, if we break this short-term ascending triangle, this bearish pennant is going to have to play out. So here, let me get the arrow out. So you got the flagpole, you got a little bit of consolidation. That's considered a bear pennant. This is the ascending triangle, the very short term. And I showed everybody, if we break this to the top side, hold this. Here, let me show you. Let me put it in the 4 hour. It'll make more sense. So if we break this ascending support right here as resistance and use it as support, we'd have a technical target up here at 52 cents. Now, if we broke down, it'd be that same technical target down, and that's going to bring us right back down here to 33 cents, 33.6. So now that we broke that, this is going to end up more than likely play out as a bear pennant and break down. And we already have the bearish continuation showing in the daily. Now the 4 hour finally broke down. So we're coming down. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, on when we're watching, we're coming down. So make sure, guys, I always say this, make sure if you're watching somebody, they understand that technical analysis. Anybody can tell you to buy or sell. Anybody can say fancy things. But make sure if you ask them something, they can do it. And if they say, oh, I don't have time or this or that, if they're already covering something, they should be able to draw you something out very simply. Like right now, to show you more of what I mean with XRP on the way this is going, you can draw this like this, guys, and we've got a decided downtrend. And look how we're respecting this. So it seems to me that we're going to ride it right down into there. It really does. And if we break that 33 cents, look out with XRP, because as I've stated to my audience before, if you're new, I'll go over it again. We've already had, let me get this arrow out. We've already had one hit here on the uptrend, March 9, 2020. That's how simple it is, right? We hit it there. A resistance point here on the same ascending triangle on June 22nd, 2018. So that's resistance 1. You need 2 hits on resistance and support to confirm the pattern. Support 1, March 20th. Didn't hit it. We came close, but that's technically not a hit on support. Came to resistance on May 21st, but it did hold the uptrend on January of 2021. Now we actually touched the uptrend in May of 2022, May 16th. That was finally our second point of contact. Well, if we don't hold it here, the pattern's not confirmed because we're still in this pattern. This could easily be a continuation pattern to the downside, and this is a stopping point at support, and then we break down a fucking 4-year pattern. That's what I'm saying. This isn't just a 2-year pattern. This pattern actually started in January of 18. It's a 4-year plus pattern. And if you break and I already told everybody this failed a long time ago on my YouTube. I told everybody on YouTube a long time ago. I wasn't as big back then. I only had a couple thousand followers or subscribers on YouTube. Now we're over 10,400. So I get a little more respect. But like 7-8 months ago when I was just starting out more, I said we failed the cup and handle when we got up here at $1.85, and then it got to $1.98. But I said we failed because a proper cup and handle to prove, you'd want to come up here, right, level here, and you'd want to make this handle around here and then pop out. Well, XRP comes all the way down, and it makes that very obvious bearish handle. And when you make a handle like that, it turns into a continuation because you failed. And then you come down to make new lows. At least come back to where the uptrends are. That's all I've been trying to tell people for 6 months. The ones who listen are doing great with me. The ones who didn't are so screwed. It sucks. Because people are like, oh, we have higher lows. Huh? Right? We have higher lows, right? What about the obvious lower high? 1, 2. Congratulations on the lower low or the higher lows. But I'm much more worried about lower highs. Because that means wherever I buy in, there is a chance that I won't be able to capitalize if I buy too high. When you have higher highs, it doesn't matter where you buy in on the retrace, you're still in the money. When you have lower highs, you automatically are out of the money with a certain percentage of people. That causes liquidity problems because you have more people leverage trading because now they're nervous. Now they start to buy the tops more. And then when they get liquidity dumped, that's what we're seeing now. And then when you break a multi-year uptrend, that's when the real fun starts, ladies and gentlemen. Because I guarantee this third low isn't going to be 1, 2 up in there. It's probably going to be starting a new pattern if we can't pop up in a relatively short amount of time. And I mean a relatively short amount of time. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, on these live streams, I'm going to be focusing more on XRP and not go 100 different coins in every live stream. Sure, if I get donations or whatever, you guys can steer me. But at the end of the day, we got to get a market structure set up. And if I'm going to 17 different coins, I don't think it's a good viewing experience. I think we need to lock in. We need to understand what's going on. XRP is always going to be my baby. And XLM and XDC. I'm the XRP future millionaire after all. So, but then, we've got our ISO coins. But right now as well, Bitcoin. It's mind-boggling to me that a lot of people still don't recognize that we're in an M-topping reversal. We're in a descending triangle we're in a rising channel as well before this. So the odd and the truth that nobody wants to hear is when you break a rising channel to the downside, you don't just come down to the bottom and retest it. You come down to the bottom of where this shit started. And if we're being hardcore truth with ourselves, I mean, we're talking at best, we would hold at 10,686 somewhere down in the future. I have a target of 6,172 that I've had for a long time. But yeah, that's definitely a head and shoulders pattern. Because you've got taking the stair or the elevator up. Now you're going to take the stairs down until you finally have a drop. And that's why sometimes it gets called the Bart Simpson top. Because you start building hair and then eventually it pulls down, right? And it would almost make sense because now with the Bart Simpson hairline, you could back test. So it is. Look out below indeed. But if you're paying attention to this market and you understand what's going on, you are so far out ahead. Like, that's how I am right now. I'm so far out ahead. It's disturbing. I've got 100% of my portfolio intact, and I was in XRP from 47 cent average, and I rode it all the way up to $1.98 and cashed out at an average of $1.66. So I'm above, but most of it was $1.66 area. Because, you know, even I get the hopium. I wanted to see XRP go to $3 plus, but once it got to $1.66 support, I'm like, I'm fucked. I need to sell out the rest of it and wait for it to go all the way to the bottom, and I have. And anybody who followed that line of thinking, look at the discount we're getting XRP. Back then it cost for 10,000 XRP, it would have cost me over $10,000 or $16,000 to buy 10,000 XRP. Today, because I know what I'm talking about, $4,089 for those same 10,000. So yeah, my portfolio might not be up, and you might not see it, but that's $12,000 I've saved, and I can get $12,000 more in XRP than I could have when it was at $1.66. And remember, I wrote it for 400+%. And everybody got to watch it on YouTube, and it's still in my database. You can go back and watch it, watch how I cashed out, how I bought $8,000 in gold and silver, and yada, yada, yada. The rest is history. But I've done something, and I made a bold prediction. I was right. I'm not bragging about it, but I know what I'm talking about, and I see the same thing happening again. And the first, if you guys remember, the first prediction I made for all my audience, I rode. We got in here and everybody's like, you're out of your fucking mind. Because I was only on YouTube for 2 months and I had rode it up through this nice, juicy. I just happened to get XRP when Bitcoin was making this run in early February. It was right around 25, 24K. And bam, I had XRP. And within 2 months, Bitcoin was up to 64K. I'm like, hold on, everybody. Let's pull the brakes here. We're rounding the top. And everybody got pissed off at me and we came all the way down. Then I said, guys, I know there's going to be a lot of gains, but this is the biggest bull trap in the history of bull traps. And anybody who's been watching me long enough on YouTube who's in here right now can confirm this. Because I know a lot of people in here are just from Twitch, because not a lot of my YouTube people follow me here. I don't know. It's a big thing about YouTube versus Twitch. I don't fucking know. It's stupid to me. If you like me, you like me. But that top ended up being the biggest bull trap in the history of bull traps, and it's been the biggest rug pull we've ever seen in the history of crypto. It has. And it's going to continue to prove why when it comes all the way down. We've never seen a bear market like we're experiencing now, and nobody even realizes it. Like, that's what sucks. Bitcoin is down at its best 61% from the top of the all-time highs. We're down 55% right now. 54.5%, we'll say. Give us some credit. But I mean, 54.5% in 6 months, 5 months, and you want me to believe I'm supposed to have this as my hedge instead of gold? This is my inflation hedge instead of gold, and I'm down 54% in 6 months? Fuck that. At least year over year, as bad as gold's been the last few weeks, nah, maybe it's right at about even. Gold's about even year over year right now. So gold's doing what it's supposed to do. And once the market figures out and stops selling off their gold and silver and commodities, the gold's going to skyrocket. But right now, gold's doing what it's supposed to do. If you put your dollar in there, your value's maintained. If you put your dollar into Bitcoin, you're down 55% since November. That's the difference between gold and silver. You can't say Bitcoin and crypto is this. It's the new gold. That's horseshit. Bitcoin's not backed by anything but Bitcoin. XRP's not backed by anything but... I can go into the whole thing, but there's no point. But gold, as Robert Kiyosaki says, God's money. Silver, God's money. It's the only thing, it can be manipulated, but only to an extent. If you own gold and silver, it's the ounces that matter. It doesn't matter what you paid for them. The ounces I own, the 5 ounces almost of gold, and getting close to 500 ounces of silver, a couple ounces of platinum, I own that shit. It doesn't matter what I bought it for. No, I couldn't buy it all at once right now. But I did it over a number of years because I've been disciplined. I've been doing the same purchase every single month. But I'm trying to get my audience to understand this. And a lot of people on YouTube, never seen a precious metal before, are now buying precious metals like it's going out of style. Because when you start buying these and you start holding your coins and your silver rounds in your bars, it changes you, man, because you're spending money, but you're not losing it. Like, I've lost over $20,000 on metals, but I've still got it, and it's worth a lot more than $20,000 now. No. When I talk gold and silver, Ryan, I own this shit. Bullion on me, person. You bury it, you put it in a safe, you find a spot where you can store that shit in easy spots, and so you can find it in an apocalypse style thing. Or people are always like, oh, gold and silver is no good unless in an apocalypse. That's so untrue. So untrue, guys. Think about if the stock market, everything crashes. The dollar tanks, because the dollar is going to get close here eventually. It could capitulate up to 120, but for all intents and purposes, it already hit most targets, but I think it's still got to capitulate up. We know what the government's a bunch of frauds. But with your gold and silver, let's say the US dollar goes down to 90 or 92 or 90. The cost to buy the gold bar with our dollar, it's going to be like $2,300, $2,400. The cost of gold didn't even go up. Gold and silver, that price is artificially put on it. But the ounces I have, let's just say because of inflation and the dollar's devalued and it's fucked. So then they say, okay, well, it used to be $1,800 for an ounce of gold. Remember, it used to be $50 for an ounce of gold. That same fucking gold bar didn't change. The only thing that changed was the value of our dollar, and it's going to continue to get worse. So the gold that I bought at $1,300, nothing's changed. That gold bar still looks exactly the same. Nothing's fucking changed. The only thing that changed is the value of my dollar. Ironically, is better than when I bought it. Ironically, my dollar is worth more, so gold is reacting in a better way than most are thinking. The dollar when I bought these gold bars was probably at 98, 97, most of them. Now it's at a 1.04, 104 spot, or 103 spot, 76. So it's gone up 10%. But gold is still in relation, is maintaining. So when the dollar tanks, gold is going to go way up. That's what nobody's seeing right now. Gold had an artificial rally to pull itself out of its ass. And the problem with gold is like I keep telling everybody, this is my problem. I love gold, love silver, but for anybody who's like, I'm going to buy it today and get rich tomorrow. Guys, gold is the most painful thing to own if you care about if it's going up or down. I don't realize now after 3.5 years of holding it that it's gone up $400 or $500 an ounce on my early ones. Or that silver's gone up from $13 an ounce for my early ones. And yeah, now you're looking at it and silver's only at $21.35. And people are like, oh, yeah, and if it comes down, I'm going to be the happiest person in the world if gold comes down here. I know it's never going to come down to when I started buying it. Actually, it was all the way down here. It was down cheaper. Because I started buying gold silver back in early 2020. So I bought it in 2020, 21, 20. Yeah. So it's just been over 3 years. So when I first started buying it, it was down here. It was up here. Then it had this big drop. And this is when I got real serious and I started buying it on here. And then all of a sudden, I'm buying it. I'm like, holy shit, I'm paying $25 an ounce for silver. And I remembered from buying it right here. Unfortunately, I didn't get this whole consolidation to learn it. I learned it from here, and then I just kept buying it. I bought it all the way up, too. And then every time it came down. But every month I buy the same amount of silver and gold now. But not gold really anymore. Mostly silver because of the ratio being so out of whack. It was 81 to 1. It might be greater now. It could be greater. But that's what I do. And the thing is like your silver and gold. So the dollar, let's just say everything with inflation goes real bad. And this is something I can offer you guys that I guarantee you the rest of the crypto sphere, whether YouTube or Twitch, has no fucking idea what's going on with commodities and the physical US dollar and the US dollar currency index and how it relates to the crypto and how you need to diversify into actually having physical. I'm not talking about owning commodities. I'm not talking about owning any of that paper shit. I'm talking about owning physical metals. That's going to be what changes my life in the end. I know I'm going to make a lot more money in crypto and through Lobster and my assets. But at the end of the day, what's going to preserve what I've already made and what I'm going to make is gold and silver. It's that fucking simple. And if you can understand that, I promise you, you're going to be so much better off in 10 years than you are right now. Because in 10 years, the US dollar will likely be at a point where it's probably under $80 or $70. Which means the price of gold and silver, if you're that low on that, just on face value, it's going to cost you $3,000, $4,000 an ounce. What are we going to do when it's $2,500 an ounce and everybody's trying to cram in? What are you going to do when silver's $50? I mean, you don't wait. And everybody's like, I'm going to wait for it to go down. It's 84 to 1 now. I knew it didn't look right when I even said I was trying to do the math real quick. Yeah, 84 to 1 now. So if you're getting in now, sure you can buy an ounce of silver or the gold. But I'm telling you, you've got to, you can always get your silver or your gold when it goes, because historically it comes back down to 20 to 1. So the whole point of doing this, and this is going to be a good commodities update too. So a lot of people ask me, Tom, why do you buy silver if you like gold? Well, if it's 84 to 1 right now, that means on 84 ounces of silver, I only get 1 ounce of gold. Now, when it's a 20-1 ratio, I can send them 20 ounces of my silver and get an ounce of gold. Look at the savings you're getting. It's absolutely genius. And I don't remember who taught me this years ago. And I've never had to use it yet, but I buy it in relation to this. So one day when gold is 20 to 1 or 25 or 30 to 1, I start exchanging that silver for ounces of fucking gold for cheap. The US dollar, it would still cost a shitload for that gold. But I've got the right commodity now. I've got the right bullion on me to make this exchange. The people buying gold right now, it's a detriment to them because the exchange rate is so big right now. It's 84 to 1. They're basically handing out silver. Even though it's expensive, they're handing this shit out like candy. I've never been happier to buy silver at $21 an ounce than right now because this is the biggest gap I've ever seen, 84 to 1 since I've been buying. At least close to it. So when you start talking about ways to get your wealth, I hear people all the time, well, Tom, isn't silver going to go down? Who gives a shit? I sit there and smoke. I smoke with my metals. Oh, I sit there and I caress my metals. Oh, I'm not even kidding. I pull a few of them out. Oh, man, we have fun. I'll take a shot. Why? I need to go get something to drink because I don't drink a lot. So maybe I'll go get some Jack Daniels or something. I'll take a shot of whiskey with my metals. But I'm telling you guys, it'll just buying that shit. Instead of going to the casino, instead of buying all this useless junk, I stopped playing video games and going out and doing all this stuff because I got so obsessed with all my spare money to buy gold and silver, and it's the best thing I ever did. I don't collect stamps, but I collect this shit. But bullion, rounds, if you're buying it, rounds and bars, because that's the cheapest spot price. What did you say, Sean? I'm sorry, guys. I just went off on a tangent on. Apparently, you guys like about the bullion because we're just maintaining viewers. Salamanda 16, thanks for subscribing at 1 month. I appreciate that at tier 1. Sean, 100 bars of silver are cheap right now. 100 ounce bars, they sure are. I buy this on JM Bullion. And then they ship it to my house. I do know one person who's local, but they can't give me more than like 20 or 30 ounces maybe. Well, they could, but the prices are so similar, there's no point of just meeting up and taking that chance. But guys, we might have a little bit of an extended class tonight because we're teaching into something that I would like to expand this into as well with what I do. Because if you guys understand gold and silver as well, we're going to be doing a lot better, guys. A lot of the people that I first started with had no idea what I was talking about. Now, I know I see a lot of people about lobsters. So, okay, Ryan, when I'm talking about lobster, yeah, I will. I'll post the spelling, I promise. So, when I'm talking about lobster, so when I'm talking about this, so look, you guys watched me buy Indus X Swiss a couple days ago. It was at 00001 and it filled. Now with this one, it's at 2. Today I'm up 47.05%. So that's just today on that one. So, you know, that's what I do in here. But SGB is my sovereign gold bonds. And that hasn't come online yet. But like for this stuff, I've got the 1 kg gold. And when you read it, available on DEX and equal to the non-fungible token NFT representative of 35 ounces of vaulted gold at Bank Depositaire Suisse. So that's what this is in relation to. So I'm backing the asset before it comes online. Right now the market cap's $121,279, and I am one of 5,098 holders. So that's that. And that value right there is not what it's going to be worth when it comes online. The Cannabis Growth Fund, VCAN. I'm also part of, where's this other one? I want to show you guys one more, the PAMP. Because anybody who collects gold in physical form will know, or the Swiss gold right here, I have 119 billion of these. So, this is the Swiss PAMP. So, anybody who knows what the Swiss PAMP is, this is backing. So, one PAMP represents 1 fine ounce of Swiss PAMP gold. So, this is the digital version of this PAMP 1 ounce gold bars I buy. And I have a couple of them. So, this is the digital version, and this is backing it. So now this market cap's 89,256, and I am one of 5,855 holders. It hasn't come to market yet. So that's what I'm talking about. With the new digital flip, I'm trying to buy some of these assets. My account's worth $6,602. You guys seen a couple weeks ago, it was worth like $5. So this is just what I do. So some of my stuff is up, though. Like, even this stuff that doesn't look like it's up much, today it's down 0.09%. So there's still some that are down, so it's not every day you're going, oh, that's the same one. But like VFX isn't online yet. A lot of these aren't online yet. The INR, this isn't online yet, but I'm one of 4,917 holders. The market cap's only almost 95,000. And this, all INR deposit equivalents are held in an audited Swiss domiciled escrow account for the exclusive benefit of INR token holders. So I'm in on this, but I vetted all of these. So, like, there's a lot of things in here that you can buy at discounts for a certain amount of time. Like, when I bought SGB, you could get discounts on it. Now it costs you how much it costs. But I've got 923 billion of these things. And if you think about the value of my account, it's a lot more than it's showing. They're just not online. Like, the market cap on here is $703,000 on SGB. And this is a sovereign gold bonds. So when this goes online, $703,000 market cap. There's 20,883 more holders. But when it comes online, it depends. It depends. See, that's what I always hear. It's a Ponzi scheme if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you understand what mine were with SwissCustody.org and IndusPayments.com and a few of the others, I've vetted these, and I have a couple other people that have worked day and night on this so that we could be on the right page and understand. Because there's a lot of scams and a lot of Ponzi's out there. You better fucking believe it. What the hell? I'm sorry, I got off into my own little world. CW gave out 10 community gift subs. Whoa. Are you kidding me? You've gifted 11 subs now. Holy smokes. So Gibbs, SJ01, gifted a sub. You've got The Man 1516 gifted sub. You've got Summer 83, Choppa 0427, Jan, Mr. Bams, Sultry, Crypto Papa W, Dancing Jesus, and Cyber Center. All getting a gifted sub. Holy shit balls. Thank you so much, CW. You've done more than your part. I can't even believe you just did that. Holy crap. I'm just trying to come on here every day and teach you guys what I know. And you guys just show the gratitude. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to say half the time. You guys are unbelievable. And CW, did you see the Tom's Army badge? You can use it now as an emote. Oh, yeah. I love seeing it. So, yeah. So, that's what I've been doing. Do you guys understand what I'm saying with Lobster now? Do I need to talk more about Lobster in my updates on YouTube? Real talk. Just tell me right now. Do you want to hear more about Lobster on my YouTube updates every now and then so I can keep you guys updated and show you what I'm doing? Because I feel like that's a deep, dark secret that nobody really understands. There's a lot of scams. But you gotta understand, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I wouldn't lead you in the wrong direction. I've been doing this for free in the eyes of, I don't charge anybody, but people are like, well, if you're getting it for free, what's the point? I make money on the basic donations and the people that join my army, but I don't charge anybody anything for the content. That's the key. I give you a lot of perks if you join my army, but I don't charge anybody because I believe everybody, no matter the size of their wallet, deserves to learn. And I used to be poor. I used to be dirt fucking poor 3 years ago. Oh, let's see. Ryan, it's not that you're... And yes, Woodpile, that is exactly how you spell JM Bullion. Thank you very much. If SafePen is legit, it's going to rip like crazy. Look at what the backing asset is. Yeah, I need to look more into SafePen. I kind of went on my own way. Because I only have been going with what I know. And I know gold, I know assets, and I know a certain of these other ones. But I definitely need to look more into it. If you're talking about it, I trust it. Oh, yeah, my Uncle John passed away yesterday. Long battle. And I thank everybody for all the support and all the thanks. But this is what gets me through this, guys. So it gets me through. You have no idea. Julie's sick. And you guys wouldn't know it, but like Julie's got 100 and something temperature. My son is almost asleep now because I've been going back and forth while I've been doing this update, and I rock him for a second. If you hear dead space, that's just me walking away, rocking him behind me. Oh, I'm quick. I'm a multitasker. So the reason I was talking about gold and silver, I didn't have to look at a chart. You notice I've been scrolling around. I've been doing most of the stream while putting my son to bed. Because I respect you guys enough. I need you guys to understand what's going on. Hey, I do what I can. You know, my time, I believe, is important. I believe what you do is your time is the most important thing you give anybody. But at the same time, you guys show me a lot more than I show you. You guys don't understand. When I started this, I used to do this, and I would say for historical record on YouTube. There's no way I could have guessed 15 months later I would have had 10,400 plus subscribers on YouTube. Or 260 members of my army that are on Telegram and that are supporting me at $9.99 a month. Like, you guys have no idea what that does for me. Even though YouTube keeps like 30%, whatever. Everybody always talks about that. That doesn't matter. The point is with that support, you allow me to look at the charts all day, every day. I don't have to go to work. You know, and I get to stay home with Julie with her 4 surgeries and her ankle replacement, and my son with his broken femur after his car accident and his developmental problems now from the car accident when he was 6 months old. None of their faults, but he's a little behind now. But it allows me to stay home and do what I need to do. So that's why I do what I do. I don't take it for granted. I come on every single day. And I come on at 7, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3:30. It doesn't matter. Whenever I first wake up, I come on. I do 4 updates a day on YouTube by nature. And I come on here every single day, 8 to 9 p.m. And I'm not trying to like be like, oh my God, I do all this stuff. That's how much I respect you guys. That's why I do it. Every day, no matter what's going on in your personal life, when you have a passion for something and you put your heart and soul into it, it's like the NBA players or professional athletes or people in positions of power. No matter what happens, you show up, you do your job. Nobody would even know what's going on. And when you go back, you embrace, you do what you do in your own time. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm always here. That's my thing. If there's one thing I always say, I'm always here no matter fucking what. But yeah, I do talk about real life a lot, and I know that's what brings people. Hey, Pizza Breath! With 1,000 bits. Holy shit. I've had like 11 subscribers this stream with the 10 gifted subs. And the Salamanda subscribing. I've had 1,000 bits there. I've had followers. Like, what more could a guy ask? Seriously, what more could I ask? I literally love fucking Twitch, and I can't wait to make partner on Twitch. And everybody's like, well, you're going to make partner on Twitch? Well, I know we've only got like 305 followers, but because of my audience on YouTube, the moment I average 75 viewers, they're going to come down and try to suck my balls. And I thank each and every one of you. Because I once tried on, well, we'll get into this later because we got to get into this. So, XLM or XDC real quick. Which one do you want to hear first? By a show of hands, XLM or XDC. We're going to cover both. But Twitch is better for live streams, but I can't just do updates on here. But I think YouTube is for updates, right? And then those updates get people over to Twitch for the live stream, and you get the common updates during the day. So I use Twitch as my live stream now, and I think YouTube should be to get more people here and to do my updates every day, 4 or 5 days, you know. Well, XRP, XLM, and XDC are the 3 X's as I call them, and XDC is the most undervalued of them all. And my baby, oh, it's my ISO baby. And the passion that I show for DGB, it's greater with XDC. Oh, I love DGB, don't get me wrong, in the Internet of Things, but XDC, I would make sweet love behind DGB's back and I wouldn't even feel bad about it. I'm just saying it how it is. All right, let's see. XLM, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row for XLM. Oh, Lord have mercy. Ooh, XDC making a big comeback. XDC, that's 4. Well, 5-4. Storm Petrie with 1,000 bits. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I really appreciate it. You guys always blow me away. Like, I always say that. I see some of the bigger channels, and the guy will be like, I need so many bits a month. It's like, why put that out there? Why do you have to tell people that if I don't hit this amount, my audience isn't doing good enough? If I get 1 bit a month, you guys are doing a good job. I could be talking for free. Like, I don't get that. So, anyhow, XLM. Ooh. Of course, you guys, you're going to leave me to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You scumbags. You scumbags. Look at my audience. Always trying to be dicks about it. 50-50? Oh, come on. Thanks, Siak. Oh, man. That's exactly what I would expect out of you guys and gals. We're going to go XLM because XLM seems to get out in the head. So it still has a 1-point lead. So we'll go XLM and then XDC. So XLM... We know it's in, and I know a lot of people love XLM. I love XLM. But at this point, we're going to cover both anyhow. And then, because I seen one person, and we're going to always go back to XRP before the end. And guys, I don't expect to be off at 9 o'clock today, just so you know. I'm in a good mood. I needed to talk with my uncle passing away, and I would rather be no other place. So, let's see. All right, so in the weekly, we already know we have, and we're going to break this down from the far out time frame first, and I'm going to bring in close so you guys know what's going on with XLM. So, first off, weekly engulfing candle. We haven't pulled down yet, but what do I always tell you? The closer we get to Sunday, the more likely we are to come down if we don't hit it by Wednesday or Thursday and pull up significantly, and we haven't. We've just continued to come down. So this is proving everything we need to know right now. And I'm going to pull my volume. I'm going to pull a lot of my indicators back on, but this, if you guys haven't noticed this entire stream, what have I not had on? Any indicators? None. Why? I wanted you to see what it looks like without all the bullshit that everybody else feeds you. This is what you need to understand. Like, you don't need indicators to tell you what's going on. If you can understand the chart without any of that other bullshit, imagine how much easier it is now when I do this and I bring on the EMA line for what? To see where everybody trades. That's it. That's why I use it. This is what you do. I don't like using indicators because I know the charts. I don't need a fucking indicator to tell me. If, the moment you rely on an indicator, most people, I see them with the stupid Fibonacci on here. Like, come on, guys. We're not in 1976 where we have a little scrap piece of paper out in front of us. So what ends up happening, we have a bunch of indicators, and you got the Fibonacci's and all these cheat sheets. The cheat sheets aren't worth a shit. What happens if, for instance, the market goes below your cheat sheet? How do you know how to react? So the best thing I can do is pattern recognition. So here's in the weekly. We can see we're in a descending triangle. You can see it because I've put it here. But if you didn't understand what you were looking at, you wouldn't know it. But this is like your cheat sheet. Forget the indicators. Now, you pull on the EMA line to see the public opinion. Right now, the 20 crossing the 50 is the start of a bearish divergence using the EMA, which is the exponential moving averages. Then you've got the 100. So when the 50 crosses the 100, that's confirming this pattern breakdown. And now we've got the blue line formed here in the weekly. That's the 200 day. Now this is going to cross the 200. And what does that mean for this? Well, we're going to have an impulse move on XLM to the downside. And does that mean it holds right here down at 11.7? Does it mean we're going to be printing a new pattern? Let me, because you can't go out any farther. You could say something like that, but that's technically, you're just creating a new pattern here for yourself now. That's not what it was like. So, like, you've got some choices. Like, this is actually how the pattern was if you had the 2 points of contact from back there. But we went very generous a long time ago and said, we're not going to be overextended here, but we can do something like that, and that's why we did it. So that's the weekly right now. So if you break it down, so what have we already seen? So what we've already seen that's bearish, we have a 20 crossing the 50 and the 100 with the weekly EMAs. That's very bearish. 2, we're in a descending triangle, and when we came up, we failed to break this bearish engulfing candle in the weekly, which is very bearish, because now we are forming another one. And if we close likely under here, if we do close under 10.4, you print a third one in a row, 3 weeks in a row, and a very big engulfing candles, and that's going to be a nightmare, because then you're going to close outside of here. Until you close more than a wick out of here, it's fine. You can just ride this pattern. You always have the chance to come back up here, or retesting the 20-day. The problem right now is when you start breaking it down into smaller time frames. Now, we bring the volume on. Okay? We bring the volume on now. And the volume can stay on because, you need the volume. You should always have the volume on. But today, even in the beginning, I didn't want the volume. I just wanted to show you guys how to do things and not have everything clouding your judgment. Wasn't it nice? Be honest. Isn't it nice? Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to have the stochastic and all that other bullshit on there. You want to know what I'm going to go back to? And I know a lot of you guys like the stochastic and the RSI. I'm giving it the boot. It's off my screen because I don't think it adds any value. I really don't. I think it just clouds the judgment. Oh, the RSI and stochastic says to buy it, but I have no idea what the pressure zones are. So what does it mean? So the price volume trend and the volume is the only thing you need to have on your screen. Period. So the reason I say that, so in the 30-minute, let's see what XLM's doing now. We're going into a smaller time frame, right? Smaller time frame. Remember what I said when we broke the ascending triangle in the smaller time frame. We're in a descending triangle. But then we try to decide. We're in an ascending triangle. We failed. We broke out. So now we got stuck in this channel. Remember? And we talked about how the pain in the ass was. We're back and forth like ping pong. Then when we break this support, we come down here. There's no questions about this. This is how the patterns go. So then you come down here. Now, if you were to break 12.2, then the next spot is here. And what I said from the beginning is, all we have to do, because we figured it out in the sections that we're falling through and going through, is that this is how you get to the next section. So, with XLM, our next target right now is 12.3. Now, with the price volume trend on the bottom, so what that does is, I don't even care what it's showing, that we're showing more support down here. What I use it for is, you see the volume on the left side, that's volume, and then the average volume to the right. So up here, we're about 509, 510. We come down here, we picked up 25 to 30% more volume. That's very bearish. There's more sell volume than there was up here. That means we're picking up more sellers as we come down. We come back up, look what happens. 796, 808. We get back up here, we're at 760, 750. Now we're losing buyers, and we're losing the amount of people that are willing to participate in the market over here. There's 30% more market participation down here than there was up here. So what does that tell you? Almost 50% actually. Look at way up here. There's only 450,000 people willing in volume to participate in the market. You come down here and 809,000 people. That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio, which means now we're coming up here. Now the market participation it's waning off again. So to me, it means we're coming back down. There's a lot more sell volume and more people willing to participate down here. So now the shorts are going to have some fun. If there was more market participation up here, they might rarely bring it up here and have fun with it. There's not enough people to interest them. So now they're going to come down. The only thing they could do is dick us, right? And this is what I'm talking about. If they want to be dicks about it with XLM, they can do this, bounce here, and then come down. That is a pure possibility. They could even bring the market higher, but we would have to now, if we come down here, now we got to break here, got to break here, got to break here, you know, and it's just a big mess. So the best thing we can do is draw the patterns out as they happen, but have in the back of our minds the grand scale pattern out in the weekly, and that's the descending pattern. Descending fractal, descending triangle, you can call it whatever the hell you want. I don't really care at this point. Just make sure you have it drawn out as properly as you can, and that is not even proper because it came off of there. Because I'm using it simple. 2 points of contact. And I see what happened here. It's supposed to be on that red line. Sorry, it's in the weekly, so it's a little bit different. But that's how we're looking. And you know what? We can do this. We'll just be very lenient here, and that's how it looks. Because we did get that second point in the weekly on Sunday after the close, and that was on May 9th. So we can use that. So that's absolutely in play. So let's just do it like that to make it more universal. So with everything I'm saying, we have more volume coming down. So that it does play a role, guys. That absolutely plays a role. Guys, it's 9 o'clock already, but fortunately for you, we're going into XDC because I am not ready to be done yet. Are you guys ready for me to end? I just have to go check on my son and Julie. I'm going to come back. Yes or no? Should I end at 9 like I normally do, or should I keep going with XDC and continue? Okay. My plan worked perfectly tonight with my son. He just fell asleep, so 2 a.m. over there, keep going. No, Julie's sleeping, Jen. She's out. She's not feeling well, so she's sleeping. My son just fell asleep, so I did exactly what I needed to do. Keep going. Keep the info coming. Continue. Do XTC. No. Make sure it is hallmark. Don't buy random online silver, especially from... No, guys. Please. Don't go on eBay or Amazon where you don't understand. Just go on a place like JM Bullion or Mart. You can even go on a few of the other ones. I only say JM Bullion because I only buy from JM Bullion online, and I've been doing it for years. Never had an issue. The only issue I ever had, and I'm going to caution you this, and this isn't JM Bullion's fault. This is Bitcoin being a bunch of scams. So, and I'm in the middle of a dispute, and I want you guys to hear this who are trying to buy gold and silver with crypto. Bought $1,000 worth of gold and silver about a month and a half ago. With my Bitcoin, I transferred into Bitcoin because I had made some money. I had a great long play, and I decided to cash it out of Uphold. Well, never had a problem ever on JM Bullion using my bank account, my ACH, credit card, whatever the case may be. I use crypto, and the third party is fucking with me. The first time they send it back, but they send less back. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I send it again. Well, then the second time, they don't even act like I bought it. Well, I have screenshots and everything else, so I mean, there's a roadmap to how my money got there. It's still, if you go on it, it's still the same thing. So Now I've been going through this whole thing, so it's like when you buy your crypto, I mean your bullion, just use your ACH. Don't use PayPal. They charge way too much unless that's your only option. But anyhow, let's go into XDC. So that's just something I would caution you with. But JM Bullion never had an issue with getting my silver or gold. Never had any fake. It's always been exactly what I order. And unfortunately, unless you're using... If you're using a third party, they can't do much for you when you do that. You got to deal with the proper channels. But when you're using your ACH, if you ever have a problem, it's easy to deal with them. They were very sympathetic, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing they can do. You know, but I just flat out told them you can't be using a third party place like this if you can't even trust them. Or if you don't know if they're going to be... But I'm assuming I'm not the only person that's happened to. But I'll get my money back. It's a blockchain, and there's easy ways to make them scared and yada, yada, yada. I'm not stupid. I played the game, so I know exactly what to say. Some people might not, but I do. So I kind of have fun with it. I mean, it's $1,000, whatever. It's a lot of money, but I can make that back trading, and I already have, and then some. So it's like, how can I really be mad at it when I've made well over that $1,000 that they've stolen from me, essentially? So when I get it back, it'll be gravy. But yeah. That's what we're looking at right here. So this pattern's breaking down here, and this is a bear flag on XDC. It's definitely a bear flag in the 4-hourly. You can see it in the weekly as well. But the problem that I've had with the weekly... Let me get rid of some of this noise. So we can get rid of this. We're just going to get rid of some of this stuff. You know what? Let me just get rid of this. Get rid of this. Because this is just going to confuse everybody who doesn't understand what... Hey, let me just redo this. It's going to confuse everybody who hasn't been here. So if you're new, I'm going to draw this out for you. And if you're not, you're going to understand more. So in the weekly, we have a huge downtrend here. A big one. So that's the downtrend. For the resistance, you've got downtrending support as well. And I want you guys to see two different ways that you can play this out with XDC. And some people will leave, and that's fine, because I wanted to do XDC before I logged off. I wasn't going to rush off at 9 o'clock before I did XDC. You know, sometimes, and I do my own pace, so if people leave, the hell with them. They're missing out on something. So... And you know me, I'm a perfectionist, because if you don't line these up perfectly, what ends up happening? That's right. When it actually comes down to support or up to resistance, it's not going to be lined up properly. And then what? You're buying and selling at the wrong damn spot, and there's nothing worse than that. So there we go. That's XDC. The biggest problem we have dealing with right now is we had a 20 crossing the 50 in the weekly. These are the high time frames. So to have a 20 cross the 50 here, this is very, very bearish. And once we cross 100, then we're going to initiate this big drop, because then we're going to have to come down here and at least support ourselves on it, which would be at about 0.28. Or we come below this and start printing a new low. And if the bear or the bull flag breaks, which it looks like it's going to, because this looks like a classic and prototypical head and shoulders pattern, which has room to come down, guys, which would be very bullish. And this is why I'm so bullish on XDC over a lot of them. Look what happens. Even if this crashes... Is this not a bullish handle it just put in to take off? Even if it went to 0.07, 6, or 5, that's still a bullish handle down there. This could come down 300% or 90% or whatever. And this thing could still put in a bullish handle and come out. As long as it doesn't break with conviction, not even there. Shit. With conviction around that area, which means that you could put in a handle all the way down here. What is that, 147? You could even come a little lower, actually, and if you had a fake out, you could probably come down a little lower than that. But there's a lot. This is a prototypical what you want to see for a bullish cup and handle, even on a dump. Maybe an overzealous one with the market, you know, maybe you get something like that and get a huge W reversal there. But I'm just saying, out of all of them, cup and handle successful. Now it comes down to retest and make the actual cup, because now you look at it like a teapot. You have all these people up here that are all in the profit. You got to come down. You got to come down. You got to level the playing field. And most likely you'll come down even farther with market conditions if it really is that bad. But I'm just saying, over most of them, XDC actually pulls you right into a nice support zone in the accumulation zone and a wick off schematic. on a breakdown. A lot of people are going to tell you it's over. It's not if you know it's an ISO coin and you know where it's going. I know where the market's going. It's just a matter of if you believe me or not. There's 10,400 reasons why you should believe me on YouTube. So, I convinced that many people. But that's not saying much, I guess. There's a lot of scam artists and whatnot, so maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So, but I do have 14 months evidence to say otherwise. That's the problem now. Now nobody can talk shit to me. It's great. I don't, you know, that might be the biggest compliment to me is I don't really get, do you guys really see a lot of trash talking anymore in the comments? That all went away now. There's no, even when I come here on Twitch, everybody's nice. Nobody's talking shit to me. You notice how when you demand integrity in your community, isn't it funny how after a while the characters phase themselves out? Because the rest of your community demands respect for you because of what you do. So then other people are like, I better not step out of line because this guy's earned my respect. That's all I do. I work hard and then eventually everybody has to see it because it always happens. Shit, this guy's working on Christmas. Shit, this guy's working with the death and family. Shit, this guy's working when he's sick as fuck. Holy fuck, he's working during this and that. And you know, that's when you build character and you build, hey, if we know anything, I'm going to be here. Regardless. So, an uptrend right here. We started on July 2019. We hit it again March of 2020. Then we didn't have to hit it for a while because we just continued in parabolic state. But now we're going to have to pay the piper. And 2 cents would be the uptrend. And if you break it, and look at how this all lines up. Isn't this funny? So, look how this uptrend lines up. So, if your TA guy knows what he's talking about, right? Your TA guy knows what he's talking about. It isn't trusting indicators and all this other nonsense. What did I just talk about? How we would likely put in a bullish handle and everybody would get scared. And where could we come down to? And look at how perfectly now this would come down into this area. Look at this area, how everything's playing into this area now. Then sure, we could come down a little bit farther, but at the end of the day, you could pull all this back and say, hey, we're working into an area right here. I just pulled that out farther so everybody could see. If I had to guess, I would say that's the area we're playing into. And everything's lining up to this area with XDC. I mean, look at that. It's almost too perfect. And then if it breaks that, you're going to know. We're going to know before anything happens, right? So everybody's going to be guessing. They'll be, oh my God, XDC's falling down. Oh my God, cry me a fucking river. But we're going to already know that we broke down and we back tested here. So then we're going to know that we break down and we would come like that. That's how you know. We break the uptrend that's been going since July of 2019. Well, obviously, we're going to come down a little bit farther. I'm going to have to restart from down here. And it's just going to be unpleasant. But then eventually XDC is going to take off because it's an ISO coin and one of the best. And hidden and undervalued. Did I miss something? Wayne, thanks for the follow. I knew I missed something. I seen something flash. You are number 310. It seems like we have so many more followers on Twitch because I get so much support. Imagine if I had this much of the people that follow me on YouTube support me. Holy shook balls. I feel like this is the most supportive part of both communities. So, now guys, does Twitch do a better job alerting you when I go live than YouTube? They clearly must. And other than that, is that not a spectacular rendition of what the fuck XDC is that I just did in front of you? Does that leave any doubt to you guys? Is there any doubt what's going on now with what I just drew you? Isn't that spectacular? And you can see the bear pennant. You can see the ascending triangle we broke out of, right? The grand scheme from 2019, we broke out an ascending triangle. Finally, and look, we're back testing it. We haven't back tested this broken ascending triangle yet. And the first test would be right here. And it's predicting that around June 13th or June 20, somewhere around June 13th to June 27th is where this big retest is going to be. So it's coming. It's coming. Oh, it's coming, and it's coming quick. Hey, Arizona Marine. Thank you so much for the 200 bits. That was very generous of you. I never know what I do enough. Or I never think I do enough, but then when people send me donations, it's like, I sat in one of the stations where the guy had 350 or 500 viewers, and I'm looking at it, and he's saying he wants 25,000 stars or bits in a month, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, not to brag, but I got 25,000 bits for my audience, and I don't have to put it up there. And I think we got it in like a week or two, and that's just, obviously I saved a lot of people a lot of money, so I understand that. But still, it's like, have you guys ever seen me go on here and have a little thing to say I need this many bits or you guys are on notice? Like, fuck that. I kind of just do my own thing. I don't even think I advertise anymore. I used to in the beginning be like, oh, send me a donation. Or I don't even think I talk about it. I just think it goes organically. I don't ever talk about it anymore. I just do what I do, and if people donate, you donate. If not, whatever. As long as you're in here watching, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. I think my product, what I do does the advertising for me is probably the better way of putting it. But the other thing is here, guys, with XDC, let's not forget what else is going on here, which is kind of cool. This is actually cool when you look at the pattern correctly, which we are. Don't get me wrong. We've looked at it absolutely correctly this whole way. But this is the potential and the target, guys. If we do hold this, holy shit balls. And this is what I'm excited about. To get down to this 1.8 or 2 cents. But look what happens if we do XDC properly. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. 2-3. Let's see it holds 2-3. Look at that fucking percentage at the top of this triangle. And look. We've already convinced this pattern that it's good. Hit of resistance. You need 2 on each side to confirm the pattern, right? April 2018, 1. July 19, 1 hit on support, 1 hit on resistance now. Second hit on support in April of 2020. So this has taken a while. Months and months and months and years in some cases. Now going from April of 2020 all the way to April of 2021. That's a full year. And then finally getting confirmation. We didn't actually hit it here. We almost did. But we're using this one here because we can see the pattern in foresight now. So that's the second hit. Now we've already hit 2 times on this uptrend. Now the question is does this the pattern play true? When you get a third hit and you hit on support, now the pattern's playing true. And if it holds this, you're almost guaranteed, unless you get a fake out, and that's what this line is important for the falling channel in the current time frame from 2021 in August. So then if you were to break out of this, because it's not guaranteed, if you hit this and don't break out of here, and you will get 100% pump probably, and people will lose their shit. If it holds this and then bounces up to here, you'll probably get 100 to 125% pump. But then you have the chance of it not holding in here. And then if it comes down here. So what we're looking for would be a hold in here. And I'm not buying it until it proves it can hold here. Once it holds here and it proves this uptrend, I'll buy with the obvious bias on this resistance if it comes up here. And then if it bounces up and holds this, I'm buying more. And then it can come down here and hold it on the positive side at 3.5 likely, hopefully. And then you get that monstrous. And look at that bounce. And it's proved this bounce before. And you're talking 40, 41 cents by then. And the Gold Note UK, I'm selling those. I had 10 billion of them, and I'm selling those. Those ones are selling for 2, which is 100% profit. The other one sold at 3, which was 200%. But I'm trying to get back enough XLM for when these next ones come on, because I'm in so much stuff now. That's what I do. So that was just the one on the list that I'm like, I don't feel enough attachment to Gold Note UK, and I'm getting rid of those. So, but guys, doesn't that break down easier what's going on with XDC? That's a spectacular breakdown, if I may say so myself. And if you're not following me yet, what the hell are you waiting for? This is free information, and you got to be out of your damn mind not to follow this channel and go join my YouTube at more than 10,400 people. I keep telling everybody, one day I'm going to be the foremost station for cryptocurrency, live TA, and also the news, because I don't FUD it up. I never once FUDded it up for views, and for that, I will be embraced in the future, even more so than now. I never wavered, and when I have 100,000 people watching my YouTube, and thousands of people watching on here, nothing. I keep telling everybody, nobody can take away what I've done, because I've done it the honorable way. and some of you guys don't even know, I had learned the hard way. I got suspended for a week during my biggest growth time. I was only a few months into being partnered, and they suspended me for a week because I was too, I spoke the truth too much, and I had to learn the hard way. Some of you guys that are in here that seen, and I had to create a second station, and I called it Dogecoin and You. Actually, I called it Swing Traders Anonymous originally. And now I had to do everything on that station. And I had the foresight. I created that station 2 weeks before I got suspended. And then enough people went over there to watch. And it was hard to tell people because how are they going to know I'm suspended? I didn't have the thriving Telegram and all this other thing where I could actually get out to people, my Twitter and all this other stuff. But it changed my outlook. So then I started, you know, with Twitch, slowly but surely. And now I've been just... Twitch has just been a blessing. But yeah, I had a week suspension, and it really killed my channel when I came back. They didn't promote it or nothing, but I slowly but surely grinded it up. And man, are we doing spectacular. But XDC, guys, in the weekly, we have a bearish divergence on the weekly EMAs. And the other thing, which is cool when you look at it like this too, I showed you guys where I like the price volume trend. So just make sure you do that. You got to make sure this stuff is open, though, if you're going to do what I do. If this is up like that, you see nothing, and then you do this, and you're like, what the fuck? Tom's telling us it's showing them all this shit. What the hell? You got to pull this down. So, then with XDC, you come up here in the weekly, right? Down here, 459 million in volume in the weekly. Up here, XDC, you see we have more volume up here, and this is, again, speaking to what I'm saying, we're showing more volume up here than down here, which means there's more people willing to play with well, I don't want to say play, but there's a little more people willing to come to the party with XDC up here than down here. In the 30-minute time frame, and I'm going to show you guys, we're going to go back to XRP, the significance of this. So down here, 6.9 million. Up here, 7 million, 7 million, 7.1. Over here, 6.9. So really, we have more players in here, and we're just trying to consolidate down. Probably have to pull down into here. But after we prove this uptrend, like I was saying, in these areas, it's more than likely we have enough people up here to warrant the bulls pushing us back up, in my opinion. Now, with XRP, it's a slightly different story. With XRP, and this is the beauty of actually understanding your technical analysis. With XRP, down here you got 3.07 million. You've got 2.85. Up here, you've got 680,000. Well, I don't know about you guys, but there's 500% more players over here. So if I'm going to manipulate the market, I can probably start shorting the market a little bit easier over here. 500% more people are interested in selling or buying down here than up here. There's nobody willing to do shit up here. They're not buying. Every time it comes up, it sells. Up sells, up sells, up sells. Up, probably going to sell. So you go into the weekly, and compared to XDC, you see the big difference. XDC had a bunch of buyers up in here and down here. XRP, 8.094 billion. Wow, sounds like a lot. In the weekly, we're similar, right? It's harder to tell when you're in the weekly. That's why you have to break it down into smaller time frames. Trying to teach you guys every single class, because you can always make the short term or long term bias the way you want. You've got to find the clusters, and right now, it's showing us all we need to know right now. There's a lot more volume down in these range, and a lot more people are coming to the party than ever could even dream of up here. 684,000 people are willing to come out, have some fun. Down here, you got over 3 million people that are like, hell yeah, it's fun down here. Up here, they're like, man, inflation's too high up here. I like it way better down here. So you got to go where the buyers are. That's as simple as I can be. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor, man. It's 9:22. My voice is getting tired, but man, it's been fun. It's been very fun. Anything else? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Before I talk about all this other shit. No thank yous yet. No thank yous. Nothing. No. No thank yous. H-bar. I am a man of my word if I'm a man of anything. I remember I told somebody earlier that I was going to do H-bar. No, not a great night yet. I'm not going nowhere yet. It's been a great night because I've been here. Resistance on H-bar in this falling channel, which we broke down the pattern in many ways, and we said if the descending triangle that formed here didn't hold, we're going to use that in back test. Look at this, guys. the uptrend, here, let me get rid of this so you guys don't get confused, but the uptrend maintains, and H-bar could be a little bit ahead of the rest, because look, H-bar, right here is support, February 20th, first hit of support, right? We come back here, we hold the uptrend, we didn't come exactly down to it, but we still held it, but we didn't exactly come down to it on January 2021. Then, up here, May of 2022, what did we do? We broke the uptrend. Now we're back testing it as resistance. So, not only do we in the daily have a bearish divergence that we've already completed in the EMA, but now you go to the weekly, and it's not even really started yet. You got the 100 below it, which, as you know, I could care less about using the indicators, but it gives us an idea of where the buyers and sellers are, because I just draw up my own freehand, and then we go from wherever it is. But then we have the uptrending support. We see we have a weekly bearish engulfing candle that just hasn't had a wick pull down yet. There's no upward pressure. Once this comes through, it's going to initiate a big drop here. And we're in a falling channel. I don't really see any reason why this busts out anytime now. Let's see how the volume looks and see if maybe we can find an area of cluster where maybe there are people that want to come out and play a little bit higher before we drop farther. But to me, it looks like a bearish continuation pattern. So the price volume trend down here, we got, that's it? Maybe not. Look at it. Only 321,000 in volume down here on H-bar. You come up here, there's, that's it? Holy shit, there's no volume with the H-bar. Are you fucking kidding me? No, oh my god. Nobody is interested in H-bar. There's even less volume here. How much was up here? Oh my god. So we had a little bit there, but when we got into this short-term section, look at this. 200,000 in volume. All the way down to 100,000 in volume up here. Wow. Wow, so we actually picked up almost twice as much volume in some areas over here. So we did have more volume down here. This is going to be tricky. We might have to come back further down. And we're getting held by the overwhelming resistance area here. Wow. I appreciate that, Sean, on the XDC. Yeah, I thought I did an exceptional job on it. Yeah, I'm liquidated. Cancel all fucking orders. Unless you're buying assets on Lobster and it's something different and pertaining to a different game. But in the old crypto game, as we see it in front of us, I'm liquidated as a motherfucker. I'm not losing my money in this shit. I'm going to buy it cheap. I've seen a lot of people say, nobody could have predicted what happened. Nobody. Ha 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 ha. I believe we have a whole YouTube channel with over 10,400 people that would disagree vehemently. We have not only predicted what was going to happen, I predicted it how many months ago, guys? You know, there's been plenty of warning. If only we had the foresight, and I said, I have the foresight. A lot of people are like, fuck you. Are you a millionaire? Nope. But most of the people you see on YouTube that are were already millionaires when they started spewing out their bullshit to you. The only difference between me and them is you're watching me become one right before your very eyes. You've watched me exponentially grow in the last 14 months, but you've seen after I had already started. I worked my way out of some severe debt through the charts. You guys got to see me be made. My transformation on YouTube is spectacular. But you guys already seen me, not when I was at rock bottom. When I started with my blessings. Now you're seeing my blessings sprout because of hard work. And you have to keep doing something. And every single day is a new day. When you go to bed at night, are you happy with the work you put in? I am. I'm exhausted. And I'm proud that I'm doing it on my own. And I'm not saying my own without your guys' help. I'm saying without having to go up and ask somebody else what to do. So, anyhow. This is what we're looking at for H-bar. I can't even believe we're still going. It's 9:27. This has been spec-fucking-tacular. So, and we're getting rejected by this 10-7, 10-8 line. So that is going to be devastating. And the logical thing would be to come back down here and actually hit this downtrending support and actually hold it. Yeah, lobster is very difficult. That's why I tell everybody who's in my Telegram to ask for the Lobster Academy, and it'll definitely help you guys out a lot. It took me a long time. Guys, another thing though, while we're on this section, DGB. Remember I said earlier it's about to drop like a rock. 4, 8, so 4, 8, 12, 16. I came on this morning at about 7 o'clock for my first update, and I said, get the fuck out. We have a engulfing candle down. It didn't look like it as much because we had pulled up, and we're at about, and I said we're going to have a big drop today. And I said DGB it's going to suck. And even from where I said that, it's down 11.5%. Like, that's one day. That's one day. People are down 1/10 of their portfolio in one day. And then people wonder why I get mad when people are making my, what I do look bad. Other people that act like they know, the pretend TA guys. So, I mean, nothing about that looks good. The only thing that we could possibly do on a bearish continuation here to break out of this is to get a spurt of volume, get up here. And now the other thing that we have to contend with, which doesn't look like it, but we do. Now if we come back up, we're not only going to have to break this, we're also going to have to break this and get outside of this. And get above this resistance level. There's 4 different resistance here now that we have to get through within a 20% span, I want to say now. Okay, within a 50% span. So to get out of this area, and that's just 1.7. I mean, we're talking about 1.7. That's what I was saying. A lot of these DGB showing you right now the promise that can be made, or what can happen, like how you can get to the promised land a lot quicker if you buy in the cheapest of cheap. You don't have to wait for the big prices. So XRP $1.66 was great, or $1.95. The people that were buying at 80 cents going to $1.10 saying, "Oh my fucking god, I made 33%." Imagine now you buy XRP at, I don't know, 33 cents and it goes to 42 and you just made how much? 30 something percent if you did that? Or when these get cheaper, the amount of money you can make is exponential. But you've got to buy it at the real value. You can't buy it at the artificial value. That's always been my argument since day one when I came on YouTube. How can these be the real values if the market's being manipulated by the Fed? What happens when they do quantitative easing or tightening instead of easing? Quantitative easing is easy. I want to buy $1,000 worth of XRP, I buy it. The next day I want to buy more, the government just gives me the money. They keep showing up at my house. I don't know how the fuck. So here's the deal. I want to buy lemons for my lemon stand. I have $1,000. I buy $1,000 in a lemon stand. Oh shit, the lemon's rotted. I'm fucked. I have no more lemons. I can't continue my business. Well, fortunately for you, we're in a quantitative easing cycle, and the government shows up at your door with $1,000. You go buy your lemons. Everything goes good. You had a good, profitable day. The next day, the government's back at your door. You're like, what the fuck do they want? They give you another $1,000. Like, holy shit. You have another good day. Then they keep coming back. You're like, all right, guys, I got enough fucking lemons and I made enough profit. But they just keep on giving it to you until you become the foremost leader in lemons. You have all the lemons. The government gave you so much money. Now you're the whale in the lemon stands. You got so many lemon stands around the block because you have to keep buying enough lemons. You got so many damn lemons you've opened up around 6 different continents because the government keeps giving you it. Now, consider the same person. You open up your lemon stand, you spend $1,000, you have a problem. The lemon stand breaks down. Oh, shit, I got $1,000 in repairs. So now you go back the next day and you can't buy lemons. The only problem is there's no government. So now instead of buying the lemons again this day, even though you had a problem, your lemon stand shuts down. Now what? That money is not in the economy, which means inflation goes up, which means prices go higher. But your product is still on the shelf because everything works itself out. So now there's even more lemons for more people to use. It's all big fuckery. So with crypto, my point is, now that they're taking away the lemons, how are you going to make lemonade in the crypto market? That's the fuckery right now that we're dealing with the commissioner and the Fed and all this other crap. That's my question. How are we going to make lemonade out of lemons when there's no motherfucking lemons being put into the pot anymore? They expect us to make lemonade with no lemons. I got to make it out of piss? It's not going to taste the same. Everybody's going to sell around it. Nobody's going to want that shit. It looks, it's maybe similar color. Assuming the piss is in the right, if you're not dehydrated or whatever the case may be. But you get what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'm basically all talked out, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. This has been an unbelievable class. Unbelievable class. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys appreciate. And really, I embrace each and every one of you. And I can't thank you guys enough. Make sure to hit that follow button. Join the other 310 people here on Twitch. But also, here, let's do a little publicity real quick while you guys can see. So, right, Ollie? So, Twitter, if you want to follow me, get a little bit of my shenanigans. And I actually had a very nice quote today that I feel like more of a philosopher all of a sudden. But, what did I say? Oh, yeah, I said, when you can speak from experience, you can shed light for others to see what you couldn't before you could. So deep, but so true. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's much more than just sharing my updates. There's a lot of things that go on here. So yeah, I said, what I will never do to get views on YouTube. 1, produce FUD or hopium. 2, have you share my tweet to win XRP. I want a true community. # Tom's Army. And then no paid promotions or affiliate links ever. Why does anybody watch them? And I'm simply referring to the people that I tagged. Oh, yes, I always have a blast tagging these guys. These fine gentlemen on YouTube. These are some fine, upstanding gentlemen that, they wouldn't know technical analysis if it punched them in the dick. But they are some fine, standing citizens, I imagine, with their fuckery. So that's what we do on Twitter. And then, oh, yeah, Facebook. Huh. I got unbanned after 6 months. So if you guys would like to join more than 3,000 people on my... I was quite popular on Facebook for some reason before I came on YouTube because I was a conspirator. I had almost 5,000 people, but a bunch of people left apparently. They can't handle when you get suspended for 6 months. But yeah, you can follow me here on Facebook too if you want, I suppose. And then... what else do we have? That's just Facebook. But you better get to that quick because once it gets to 5,000, Facebook doesn't let anybody else follow, and then you're fucked. But I have the XRP Future Millionaire page on Facebook that who knows, maybe one day I'll try to live stream on there and get kicked off in 2 seconds. But we have that, and then obviously, if you haven't seen, go to my homepage, click on the YouTube partnered page. If you're one of the 310 people who don't follow me on YouTube, or if you're one of the 51 people watching right now, go to my YouTube partnered page. We have 10,400 people, and today alone, what do we have? 3 videos out today, 3 updates. 1 on my phone, the 3-minute one before the daily close. The other 2 were real nice in-depth updates. So I do like 3 updates, 3 or 4 updates a day plus the live stream. The updates are on YouTube, the live streams are on Twitch now. I used to do them on YouTube, but fuck, man, does it suck. So everybody who gets to watch me on Twitch now, you should thank YouTube that their live streams suck balls, and I had to find a better way. Because I'm blessed with this platform. I love it. Love it! So, that's all the ways you can find me. Make sure to find me in one of those many places, I kind of having a hard time leaving you guys today. I don't even know if I want to leave. I can't really talk anymore. My brain's fried. But hey, if you want to have a little question and you guys want to shoot the shit real quick, we can certainly shoot the shit while I smoke a bowl. How about that? I seen it, Gummy. I seen your promo video. I finally seen it. I kid you not, I seen it. It's awesome. And you're right, a few people ended up watching it and sharing it and liking it. So, I thought it was really cool. You guys can always promote my stuff. Always. Gets the word out. I always tell anybody if they know how to make an NFT, we can make a Sunny Days NFT or Tom's Army or whatever. And if you come up with it and it sells, you know, I'll give you part of the profit. I'm dead serious about that. And I'll pay for the cost. But I'm saying if you put in the time to figure this shit out with me, we can be partners. I'm very generous. Yes. Yes, I would love to do one on Sologenic Dummy. I kid you not. I love Solo. It's a big sleeper. 396 TSI. Oh yeah, so Vincenzo, that's my brother. The only reason we haven't is because he's out in Illinois, and he's been for a couple years now with work. So he's been working 7 days a week, so it's kind of hard to do that when he's not home. But I don't blame him. He got a raise a couple days ago. You're talking about a non-college educated man. No college education, never even went through the doors. And now he just got a raise to $26 an hour, full benefits, and he's going to pull 6 figures this year. Not too shabby for a guy with no college education, huh? He doesn't like it, so to say, because he thinks that I have a lot more time. But like I told him, you went from... People used to mock him because he didn't go to college and all this other stuff, but old Vincenzo proved him wrong, I can assure you. Monsieur Ali, thanks for the 555 bits. I did not expect any more bits tonight. That is mighty generous of you, my friend. And you know, me and old Vincenzo, we came from being piss fucking poor. My dad didn't have any money when we were kids. Neither did my mom. My dad's doing great now. But it took my dad 25 years of being an engineer before anything really happened. Now he's doing great. Now he's probably making, $55, $56 an hour, my dad. He's project manager. He was working at Tesla when they put all this shit together with Elon Musk. You know, and all that stuff out there. And now he's working at Rivian where they're doing all their shit and they have the IPO. But my dad gets shit done. But, like, you know, when we were growing up, he had 3 jobs. You know, he was an engineer but didn't get paid dick. Worked at Myers with me when I was, you know, young, when I was still in school. And then he had a sprinkler business. So, like, we didn't get anything easy. But it teaches you, you know. I'd rather not have anything handed to me. I'd rather have to go through what I did. Everybody's like, would you rather have what you have now and go back to being younger? And I say no. I'm only 38, for fuck's sake, for one, so I'm still young enough. But two, like, without the experience I've gone through, I can't be the person I am now. It's impossible. And to say otherwise is idiotic. Everybody's like, don't you wish you didn't break your back? No, I don't, actually. The pain sucks. But I can see my life if I wouldn't have done that, and compared to where I am now. I had to slow down anyhow, so that was a good way of slowing down. Yes, I would have been a professional bowler. That's the only thing that sucks. I can acknowledge that. I was good I was a good athlete, baseball, basketball, anything I did, but I was a fantastic hold on. Who are we talking about here? Nah, he lost me when he decided to bash Aqua before the airdrop. Lost a lot of people the chance to get airdrops every month for 3 months. And if you know Lobster, you know. Oh my god, who said Aqua was bad? Dude, literally, I get so many airdrops that I just convert to Aqua. It's a fucking genius. Like anybody who had Aqua stored before, Aqua's just going to get huge. Because it literally takes every single conversion and it puts it into Aqua. Then you can convert it into XLM. I just hold it in Aqua and I let it build. Who the hell was bashing on that? That person doesn't know then. Yeah, Taylor, it's not an easy thing, I can promise you. Ali, I appreciate it. Oh, claws. I was just trying to get on the same page. Wiglightment.com. But yeah. So, guys, I appreciate the little back and forth, but I'm going to have to end it here. I got to go make sure all is going good in the house. But an extra 43 minutes tonight. Not too shabby at all.